Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius, September 16th to the 30th, 2021 Aquarius. Money and career. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Tower, which, don't get worried, it's not a bad thing. And we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So if we have Taurus within our natal chart, that's going to be coming through very powerfully at our root. Then we have the Three of Earth. The Five of Earth. And we have the Six, the Maze card. So this is the Hierophant once again. All right. So you have the Hierophant coming through twice. This is in the Witch's Wisdom deck that it's showed as the Maze. We then have the Two of Cups, and we have the High Priestess, which that combination is beautiful. We then have Judgment, and we have the Hangman. So in every single part of this reading, there is a major arcana card. So this is a time where things aren't really playing around. There's an intensity to it, and there's an intensity around tradition. Now, this does not have to mean orthodoxy. This is what traditions, what things are intrinsically right for us that absolutely call to our souls. The Five of Earth, the Five of Pentacles, is the poverty mentality here. And it's very interesting, the depiction that's coming forward, the depiction on the card. Okay, so we'll get to that in a moment. Let's look at the energy to be mindful of. What is the energy that Aquarius needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Prince of Pentacles. We have to be mindful of being led by money, first of all, and then the corruption of words behind money. It's kind of like it's kind of like the fine print. Like, people aren't saying the fine print. There's a sense of, I'm not going to show you everything. I'm not going to tell you everything. And that's going to be something that we really need to be aware of, especially during this time where we want to move forward. And there's going to be a sense here of people moving forward and really getting us on board with them, but they're not going to tell you the whole story. So do be aware. Like, it's kind of like trust everybody but brand your kettle. So do be aware of that. And then leads us to our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. The I am presence. That is my favorite chakra card. It is the crown chakra, and it's saying I am. I am what? I am powerful. I am successful. I am prosperous. I am sad. I am alone. I am frustrated. I am overwhelmed. I am not making my goals. What do we say to ourselves? And I know people say, Dane, only say the positive. And I get that. But if we don't say the negative, how do we know that we're thinking negatively? So the thing with saying the positive things when it comes to the I am is when people say the positive things, I know me personally, I'm always on the bandwagon. I'm like, yes, I believe that. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I'm there. But when they say the negative, I want to be like, no, that's not me. But they say it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. That's me sometimes. That's me. I feel that way. I am that way. And so it's being really open and honest with ourselves. What are we crowning ourselves with? Is it disillusionment? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it, feeling overwhelmed? Or is it the fact that I am moving towards my goals? I am light of spirit and, radiant of heart, and I'm succeeding. And you might ask, what does that have to do with money and career? It has everything to do with money and career, because we're facing a poverty mentality within our inner self. And we're facing the circle of birth and life and then death, which is what life is. And the Five of Pentacles is being stuck. It's thinking, I can't. I'm not worthy. I'm not able to be successful, prosperous, bountiful. I'm not going to get to where I need to be. And what we have at our very root is the Tower. We have divinity throwing us out of our comfort zone, which is never an easy thing, but it's always an imperative thing. It's like, listen, things have to change. I have to move forward. Things have to keep going. And so here with the Tower, it could be a devastating Tower time. Some of us have lived through Tower times with money, Tower times with careers, Tower times where, you're just sitting there slack-jawed thinking, how is this my life? But then there are the smaller Tower times where we question something, where we say, well, why can't I? I don't see this, wherever. Why can't I make it? Why can't I, suggest this idea to my boss? Why can't I open up the door? That's also a Tower time where we're thrown out of our comfort zone, where we're told, oh, okay, you're going to be making that presentation, or you're going to be giving this little speech to everybody. Good luck. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, no, not me. Like, no, thank you, but thank you. This is going to be that time where it could be big, it could be small, but it's going to be a time where we're pushed out of the comfort zones that we have, and we're being told there's more here than meets the eye. And it leads us to the Hierophant. Now, we have the Hierophant coming up in 3 different ways. In our heart, we have the High Priestess. In one of the early forms of the tarot, the High Priestess was called the female Pope. Now, whether you believe in Pope Joan or you don't, that's irrelevant. What it is here is the female side of the Hierophant, which is the Pope in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And the Pope in medieval times, he was the main power, more powerful than kings, queens, emperors, and empresses. There's a sense here of, this is my power, this is my insight, these are my ideas, this is my kingdom to heaven, this is the door that I'm opening, this is what I'm stepping through. This is what I'm claiming for me. We're also being told to look at our traditions. What part of us can't we turn our backs on? What if we stopped? Stopped doing the thing that made our hearts sing? Or what if we had stopped doing what made our hearts sing? And we just kind of went into that rat race. And there isn't enough hours in a day. And there just aren't enough hours in the day to get things done, to get everything done. Now, what Spirit is saying is to connect with what makes you thrive. Because if you connect to things that make your heart sing, it pushes you forward. It brings you forward in a way that is extraordinary. And it's like, yes, this gets to be you. This gets to be the door that we're opening. This gets to be the passion and power and the beauty that you have. And as we open up this door, we look to what we're married to, not who we're married to. what we're married to. What is the part of ourselves that if we went against it, we broke a sacred covenant with us? It moves us to the death card. Well, not the death card, but the 5 of Pentacles, which is pretty close to the death card. But it's more negative. It's the poverty mentality. It's the sense of, I can't. I can't because I'm too busy in the rat race. I'm too busy running away from the cycle of existence. I can't because nothing is ever certain. It can be a very nihilistic mentality, but it can also be that sense of somebody stole away my right to enjoy my life, my right to embrace my prosperity. It could be through a failed marriage. It could be through a failed relationship. It could be through losing a job. It could be a myriad of ways. It could be through being disabled, and as a disabled person myself, it can be that you were told you're not smart, you're not going to succeed, and believing it because you were told this from when you were so little. And so here with the 5 of Pentacles, it's whatever is part of the poverty mentality. It can be being raised in a house where there were always fights about money. There was never enough money. Everything was too expensive. And that has an impact. The 5 of Pentacles is having us in our inward selves say, what is it that's holding us back from truly connecting with wealth? It doesn't mean that we have to be a billionaire, because who needs that much money? But it's saying, I get to be successful. I get to be prosperous. I get to be able to pay my bills and put food on the table. And that's a win. Our world today, or maybe it's just our world in general, says the more you can obtain, the better you are. And that's not true. Being able to do a job and do it well, being able to live not paycheck from paycheck, that's a win. And that's what we're going to see here. We're entering the maze. And that's the Hierophant again. It's like, okay, what choices do I make? How do I move forward? How do I stay true to myself? How do I enter into this world and not get absolutely and utterly lost? And it's let yourself guide you forward. It's listening to good advice from people who love you or who know. It's letting yourself move forward towards success and passion and power and insights and ideas. It's saying there's more here than meets the eye. In front of you is the maze. In front of you is 1,000,010 questions. Sometimes we only need one answer to lead us forward. And that could be, instead of going through this whole entire maze, make sure you have a pair of hedge cutters and cut through it. Make your own path. Maybe don't play the game the way everybody else is playing it. It moves us then to the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups is unity and love. The 2 of Cups is a healing of the heart. In our hearts, we are healing. And we are embracing the High Priestess. We are embracing seeing things differently. We are embracing the veil being lifted from our eyes and us moving forward. The High Priestess comes in and says, why does it have to be this way? The High Priestess comes in and sees the truth beyond the lies. Sees what nobody else wants to see. The veil is being lifted away. We're also going to be able to read people really well. Or at least to trust our instincts about them. And this is saying, do not let other people talk you into thinking that they are just the best thing ever. They need to prove it through their actions. It moves us then to judgment. It moves us to arising out of a rut. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's an angel blowing their trumpet and people rising out of their coffins. And that's what we're going to be doing here. And we're entering to this place where reindeers and a sleigh full of gifts. It's like, can you rise out of the monotony, the hardship, the pain, into a place of wonderment, to a place of prosperity, to a place of bounty? The answer is yes. Because we're embracing the Hangman. We're leaving the darkness behind. And we're embracing that we're seeing things differently. Now, when we embrace the Hangman, we also have to understand that there's going to be this sense of, I'm seeing things differently. Oh my gosh, I must be wrong. Everybody else has to be right. Because I'm standing out so much. I'm so different than everybody else. It's like, no. Don't count yourself less than. Look at things differently and know that that's what's rising you out of the rut, out of the box, out of what is considered success and the endless rat race. This is giving you a new insight, new ideas, new passion, new purpose, new guidance forward. It leads us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the King of Pentacles. That's making it all about the money. That's seeing the interconnectedness, but only when it applies to wealth, not when it applies to anything else. We're also going to be really drawn to people who are successful, which is an absolutely ordinary thing to do, absolutely, human thing to do. But we can't change our own values and what we want to try and imitate somebody else's success. The way that we're going to succeed, the way that we're going to win, especially during this time here, Aquarius, is to be powerfully and authentically who we are. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra energy, which is flexibility. And this is the Sacral Chakra. The Sacral Chakra is a complex chakra because it is where the creative energy is held, the sensual energy is held, but it's also where all the negativity from this life and past lives are held. And so we're finding a way to move forward in the flexibility of our hearts, our souls, our passions, and ourselves. We're finding a way to break out of the constraints of I can't, the constraints of I failed, and into the sense of I've learned. And every time I failed is a lesson learned and an insight gained, which sounds like a very Mary Poppins way of looking at things. But sometimes we need to do that to ourselves, to say, no, I'm opening up this door. No, I'm seeing things in a different light because I'm tired of, putting so much upon my shoulders, so much in failure, so much in hurt, and so much pain. Really, seriously, it's like, and excuse my language, but I'm tired of shitting on myself. Now it's time to see the light and to move me forward. And that's what's being said here. It's like, enough is enough. Now I get to be what I want to be. And it doesn't mean that we might have our dream job. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden everything just becomes roses and butterflies. But what it means is that we start embracing our joy, embracing our successes, not always looking at our failures. We start raising ourselves up. And it moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's the moon. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Pisces, right? Or we have Pisces within our chart, this is a sense of coming out of the shadows. This is going to be a tremendous time for us where we're facing our fears and we're looking at the distortion of things and we're saying, there's more here. There's more here than I had ever realized. And the light of the moon is still illuminating. It moves us then to our subconscious inner self, and that's the world. Now, this is the first card in the Witch's Wisdom deck. It's like her world has burnt down, and now she is on this journey. Now she is moving forward. Now she is embracing a new way to obtain her life. And that's what we're seeing here. In our inner self, it's like things have changed. And instead of being held back by that change, made small by that change, it's like, okay, these are my next steps. This is how I'm moving forward. I am entering into the world, and the world is guiding me. It brings us then to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Fool. The Fool is what we would think of when we saw number 1, the world. It's saying, are we brave enough to go on this journey? Remember, every single hero's journey begins with us being fools. Begins with us taking risks that seem ridiculous. Begins with us, having this faith within ourselves, or going after this dream, or doing this thing that makes us happy that others just don't understand. And the Fool is just embracing this path and this power forward. It's saying here, in our hearts, in our emotions, in our desires, do not hold yourself back and do not think yourself less. There's a world out here to be embraced and explored. And it moves us then into our subconscious public self. And that's the Page of Wands. This is being a student of our passion, of what we desire, of our careers, of opening up doors, of saying, well, why not instead of why. The Page of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But it's being a student of what drives us. It's looking at things and learning new things, opening up the doors and saying, there's more here than meets the eye. There's more to this than I could ever possibly know. And that's what guides me. That's what embraces me. That's just what's leading me during this time. Is that I am opening myself up to the world. I am opening myself up to being a student of my passion and my success and my determination. and nothing will hold me back. Yeah. It brings us to a place where, as we see things differently, we learn from that different insight and we rise out of the box that we had been put in, or the box that we thought we should be able to fit in that we never really did. It's like, no, this isn't for me. I meant to explore. I meant to embrace. I meant to shatter limitations. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace this rise to success. Oh, goodness. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.